duration, but then Mahamudra finishes as the completion stage.
Okay, so okay la, yeah, your answer is okay la. So now this 5-part Mahamudra is under the 4 tenets, yeah, right? Everyone sure that, right? Yeah, so that is the 4 tenet has is 4 tenet jiwa mata pachapsandro sota jidam. So this is the not under the 4 tenets, 5-part Mahamudra is.
Did you say it is not under the 4 trainings, Kempo?
Yes.
Okay.
Saying that does not belong to the 4 tenets.
Okay, every time you ask, are you sure, it's usually a mistake.
See, 4 tenet, refuge, Pakimocha, you already just mentioned about. 2, Bodhicitta 3rd, Vajrayana is 4, so that's 4 tenets. And that is actually 3rd section. 4 tenet is a 3rd section. Correct? How about Maryland?
I'm sorry, I'm fighting with Facebook Live.
Okay, I mean that, do you have any answer there? 4 tenet is not under the...
I don't, Kimbola. I'm sorry. I was agreeing with Sandra. I thought the 4th was Vajrayana.
Yeah. So then this 4th is Vajrayana, yes, correct. But
Okay.
where's the 5-part Mahamudra? Under the 4th or?
I had it listed as 4.2. So the
4.2 is, or the Mahamudra is 4.2, right? I mean the 5-part Mahamudra is 4.
I think it's 4.2 is what I have listed.
Okay, so that's good. See, the 4 Dharma is number 1. Then abandon the 4th of the vessel is a 2. Okay, 4 tenet is a 3rd. So 4 tenet has 4 under the 4 categories. 4 tenet has under the 4 categories. That is a 3rd. So that's the reason Vajrayana is 4th, but it's a 3rd category. So now we are in the Mahamudra. Mahamudra is a 4th. So instruction, the 5-fold path is number 4 means not under this 4 tenets. So okay, so this whole book is like followed by 4 chapters. Just main point is 4 chapters. The 4 Dharma, of course, under they have another list, like many categories. They abandon in the 4th of the vessel. There also has actually 4 different categories under there. That is the second one. Then the 4 tenets, that is the third one. They're also under, they have 4 categories. So no Mahamudra, 5-part Mahamudra is a 4th. So then Mahamudra has 5 categories under there. So Mahamudra is actually, the Tibetan is very clear, but it's, I think English, this contains, they didn't put that one. It's called 5th is meditation. There's a 4th is a meditation, 5-part Mahamudra. Number 5th is meditation, 5-part Mahamudra. So other one is like say 4 tenets, means like Mahamudra is a 4th, number 4th, and meditation 5-part Mahamudra. So that is today we are number 5 category. Okay, so
Could we review those again? I'm maybe we can do it at the end, but I'm kind of confused and a little lost on what's what.
oh really?
Yeah.
When you look at the outline, it says the number 4 is Vajrayana, and there isn't a 5th one. There's no 5. There's just conclusion.
Yes, so no number 5, right?
No number 5, and number 4 is Vajrayana.
Okay, so that means this 4 tening has only 4 categories. 4 tening has 4 categories only there.
Right?
The last is Vajrayana.
Number 4 is Vajrayana.
Yeah, because the first one is refuge, second one is Pakimoksha,
Right.
third one, the 4th one is Vajrayana. Then Vajrayana, that means like this 4 tening is finished.
Right.
So now why is number 4 again? Because 4 means the number 4 is era, comes means like number 4 is this 4 tening is a 3rd.
Right. It's not. It's a new section.
The new section 4th.
Yes, Vajrayana.
No. Vajrayana is a number part of this 4 tening, 3rd 4 tenings under there.
Then it should be.
Look on page
instead-
7, Kempo, of this book and see what I'm talking about.
It should be, so 3.1 is refuge, 3.2 is pratimoksha, 3.3 is bodhisattva, and then Vajrayana should be 3.4, but it's not, it's 4.0. That is what is confusing us. Because it looks, the way the book is laid out, Vajrayana and Mahamudra are the same chapter. So that's why it's confusing to us.
Yeah, that's what's
Are we
confusing
proofreading
me
this
too.
thing?
Actually,
I'm trying to find out where I am.
Well,
Vajrayana must put 3.4 because it's part of a 3 category. I see what a problem is like they put the Vajrayana is the
yes,
the 5-part Mahamudra.
that's
Right.
that's what's confusing. Yeah. And I think Gil's wondering a little bit, which would be confusing, why we're kind of looking at all this. So maybe it's to understand how this is all fitting together.
So Vajrayana is the number 4 is like it must be the number 3 first, number 3 and then 4. The number 3 is because it's belong to the 3rd category, and then number 4 is the category 4. They have like the 4 different sections in the 3rd one. This is the last of section Vajrayana.
The problem actually starts on page 6
Yes.
because 3.3 is Bodhisattva vows, which it should be, but 3.4 is Bodhisattva practices, and they should all be together. That's
Exactly.
where the problem is.
Yeah, or it must be 3.3, like what the bodhicitta section is. Then Vajrayana comes, like we have to put a 3.4.
But I have that the Mahamudra is one of the fivefold paths. So in the fivefold paths, there are five, right? So the first is bodhicitta. The second is elongated meditation. The third is Guru Yoga. The fourth is Mahamudra. So that is the fourth. But that the fivefold path is part of the Vajrayana, the fourth chapter.
No, this instruction on the fivefold path is like completely different instruction. The section is not this is belong to the four tenets. So we have four tenets already taught: refuge, bhakti, bodhicitta, Vajrayana teaching already finished there. So that is a part of all four tenets. So now today we are in the five-part Mahamudra. So five-part Mahamudra is a 4, and then not number 2, actually 4, and then bodhicitta is a 1, 4, 1. Then Yadam that is 4, 2 is okay. So see, this is like here is the problem is the five-part Mahamudra is they put under the Vajrayana category. So actually, this five-part is separate, totally separate section, not under this Vajrayana the category there.
So the 4 trainings has 5 sections, not 4, because they separated out Bodhisattva practices as a separate section, and that's 3.4. For some reason, maybe that's okay, maybe it's not, but if I think this conversation is saying that Vajrayana should be 3.4, and then Fivefold Path should be 4.0.
Yes, yes.
It's just that there's this extra section in the trainings called Bodhisattva practices.
Yeah, just they put more bodhicitta there. That's the become mistakes. It's Tibetan is very clear, and so the Tibetan is the clear, but it's more shorter. The Tibetan is shorter is like we just talk about this 4 tenets. The 4 tenets: refuge and upakya, moksha, bodhicitta, and Vajrayana. That's it. Then not any more detailed than that. So then goes like the fourth is called meditation. 5-part Mahamudra is essence of the teaching. So that is the Tibetan this contains. That means that the last one is like meditation, 5-part Mahamudra, essence of the teaching. Okay, so now we go to the teaching. So I also have last time is didn't know carefully the chapter how to go in there. It's like a little bit confused there. So anyway, 5-part was a totally separate section, not under the Vajrayana section. Vajrayana section is already finished there. So that is like belong to the 4 tenets. So now is we have 5-part Mahamudra is essence of the teaching, follow the meditation. Today we are page 140. Correct, yeah? So last time we leave there 140. Secret mantra practice is meant to be kept secret from those who are not fit vessels to receive these teachings. The root takes the lead. So the last part is we already talked the recollection of purity and clear visualization, the deity pride. So practice Yadam deity. Now we are in the part of 5-part Mahamudra. 5-part Mahamudra first is bodhicitta. So bodhicitta is actually no different than the 4 different vowels that we already talked. And the 5-part Mahamudra also first is like bodhicitta. Then second one is Yadam deity practice. So now we are in the Yadam deity practice, the second 5-part Mahamudra second section. Actually, the whole chapter follows the 4th one, 4th category. Chapter, we can say chapter 4. So then this Yadam deity practice is called it's main important is here is a recitation, Vajrayana recitation, mantra recitation. So also the talking about how to practice this Yadam deity. So we say sacred mantra means we have the sacred practice. It's meant to be kept secret from those who are not fit vessels to receive these teachings. The root text reads, so this is the root text come from the Jiktin Sunggo. Samtang Tukor Maji Tenyendo, keep the practice secret. That is one point. Means we have to keep secret. And when we practice Yadam deity, and evoke the waking the mind. So practice Yadam deity means evoking the Yadam deity or Buddha, evoke the waking mind. Like if we practice Tara and we evoking the Tara, or we are evoking the Tara also same time like our mind is emerging to the Tara's mind. So that's the reason I awakening the mind. Then that's with the mantra recitation. So use the mantra recitation. Practice mantra recitation, evoking the Buddhas. Then generally when we practice this Vajrayana, we have to keep secret. Then you will accomplish the essential nature. Then we have become accomplished the Yadam deity, essential nature. Means like our mind nature is emerging to the Buddha's mind, Yadam deity's mind. So that's the root text. And the root text, there are just 3 main points, kept secret, evoking the mind, Yadam deity's mind. So use the mantra, practice recitation mantra practice. Then you accomplishment. Commentary. We are meant to conserve and keep secret the mandala deity and accomplishment substances from those who have not seen the mandala. So here we say we have to keep secret. Why we have to keep secret? Because some already not see the mandala, means no empowerment and not ready to practice. Some are not devotion. Some didn't have the enough accumulation merit. They didn't practice like 4 thoughts meditation. So that's the reason not fit vessels. So when we practice Vajrayana, body, mind, speech must be clean first. So you're going to pouring the nectar in your vase. Your vase must be clean. And which one going to clean up? So 4 thoughts meditation going to clean up the vessel. If someone no practice 4 thoughts meditation, then vessel is still dirty. So not yet put in the nectar in there. Not ready to put the nectar. So then that person also no connection, the teaching, no devotion. So that's the reason this we have to keep secret the mandala deity and accomplishments substances from those who have not seen the mandala. Substances means so we practice Yadam deity. They have so many different kind of objects, substances. I think talking about that. Tibetan is that, but English also. I think this word is for the tankas, ritual objects, statues, and think about like we have a Vajrayana mandala. Sometimes like Drupchins does like many dharmas, 4 directions, and so many objects put in the mandala create. So this all things need to secret for the know who is not ready to the practice. Used to the traditionally Drupchin is done by the secret, not in the public place. Drupchin means. So we create all this ritual object, but secret means like who are into the practice. The person must be 7 days or 9 days or 5 days at least in the practice, 24 hours. So no one new one can come in. Usually the Drupchin tradition is like that. So no one can come in the Drupchin because if you are not in the beginning, then who are already in the Drupchin, you cannot go out until finish. So that's the Yamitagas Novi does like that. You know, that is all actually all the Drupchins are used to traditionally like that. And so must be everyone in there is kept secret. Then kept secret is like someone who didn't receive empowerment. So we already talked like Western is dirty, not yet rapine, no clean, so not ready to share the Vajrayana substances because they get wrong views. So that's already talked in the recollection of purity. Then if you show them what happened, is here says you cannot be accomplishments Yadam deity practice. So get the obstacles. That's the reason I share many times already talked to, you know, used to some mandala, this secret mantra who chant, they're even the malas, they're not let to touch any other people. They're always kept in the body, never separate from their own body or in the hand or in the body. So they don't live put outside, they don't live and just in the table, like, no, like that. So who doing really practice, wanted to completion, keeping the secret way practicing. So we know doing, that's why we just usually, our mala is put in the table. And so someone wanted to see, we give it the mala as others hand that they can see, oh, your mala is great and nice, you know, like that kind of. So I like this mala. So we told that, but you know, that time we actually not really using the mala as a secret practice. So who use the secret practicing, chanting this recitation, Vajrayana recitation mantra, then they don't really let to touch. They don't leave it on the table. And so many things like that. Even they don't let what they're chanting too, some people. And they kept their own mantra, they kept reciting their own, and they don't let them know what they're doing. So that is also another way to practice Yadam deity. So we have many different kind of choice. If you do that way, I think it's a more easily accomplishment Yadam deity. So I told you before, like the Tibetan tradition prayer, the turning is like there is a Kong show. So there, some people do that. Is like Kongsho is like easily make the whole, and people who just sharing these prayers each other, and that just sometimes use, sometimes don't use, and live there just everywhere. Then they're kind of like people using prayer. Kongsho is, it takes like 3-4 years to get the whole. And who really kept the secret and they don't share, and they use, very importantly, the who accomplishments, then that takes like 1 week, 3 days, finish one Kongsho is whole, make the whole. So that kind, is different. Sometimes we see why we have the secret, not important, but they have something like we don't know the subtle level connections, obstacles, these kind of things, not object of the intellectual. So that part is like very subtle level. Only Buddha omniscient recognize what's going on, no any other ordinary people. So we don't know this, circumstances and the conditions, in energies, what going on there. We don't understand. So anyway, these substances means like all this and all the ritual things. Using the form Vajrayana practice, you cannot share any other people actually. Then that is the best way to you doing. But even you don't do that, that's also okay. So some people does like that. So the reason is not only the other people has problem, that's why we not showing for that. Another reason is Vajrayana, we already talked. Main point is heart antidote heart, cord antidote cord. So like that, Vajrayana practice is like, ego antidote ego, right? We use ego antidote ego. Same like that. We have so strong selfish, self-grasping. So self means like I in the keeping everything. So that's why you use that everything's kept secret. Vajrayana is selfish antidote selfish. So they have something like very more important than we showing for like other people's problem. Another also we have selfish. That's why we using practice selfish where subdue the selfish too. Make sense? Or that's the reason most important. So one day I talked about this discussion with Gachin Rinpoche, and so he said like, okay, Vajrayana is just everything is like more like publicly and the people using and even opening up everything what are you doing. So that's also his great just like you what you're doing, everyone knows. You don't have any holding there. So that is actually way of the Dharma, just generally practice way of Dharma. But then he said, and the people has a selfish. That's why we have to keep secret. So then I think about it, that really makes sense. Like Vajrayana usually teaching talk about the heart antidote heart, cord antidote cord, So ego antidote ego. So now I think about that's why reason is like we have selfish. Then the secret also actually self, I'm. And so you not sharing anyone, I'm, then that is the antidote to our selfish. Selfish antidote selfish. But generally, you know, Vajrayana, like, okay, you can have like more open. It's like people who don't have selfish, then that person is open is okay. And who has selfish, they need to put more selfish to secret. Yeah. And some teachers, they don't have a secret. That means they already have no selfish. So we have selfish, then we have to more put secret. Whatever you do, the Vajrayana practice. That's why, you know, sometimes misunderstanding and Garchin Rinpoche no doing secret, so we don't know secret. It's like totally wrong understanding. Vajrayana like cannot follow like that way. So you tiger jumps very far away, and dog cannot jump very far away. If dog jumps like same as a tiger jumps, dog is falling into the crops, right? Crops or cups or something, you know, falling the ground.
Yes.
Yeah, so falling there, cups or so that's the reason cannot follow the Vajrayana, the person, and follow by own level. And so we have selfish. That's why if you put more secret, it's like more I think introduced to our selfish. So that practice has become more successful for who has strong selfish.
Kempa, it's Cheryl. Is that like using your selfish energy as fuel for your practice so that you have for your secret practice? Because that's selfish. I'm starting to get lost here, but you're using your selfish energy to propel you out of out of ego, and to deepen your practice. Is it something like that?
Did you understand? So what other people think? That is same thinking. What is, she says?
Cheryl.
Cheryl, yeah, Cheryl says the same thing. You think everyone think like that, or everyone understands same like that, or?
It seems like you need to understand your selfishness first. Before you can use the antidote, right?
So yeah, first we have a selfish. That's no question, right? We know the emotion selfish we have.
So how do you recognize that for yourself?
Oh, that's we recognize always like I wanted to do this. I wanted to eat. I wanted to go sleep. I wanted to liberate. I don't want the suffering. That's all selfish. Self.
But can't you, like, I'm just thinking of certain characteristics in people. So if you are keeping it secret, then can't you use that to make yourself have more pride and be more self-centered? Because you're saying, I've got this really secret practice. I can't tell you about it. So then you make yourself feel more important.
So some people maybe could have had that problem, but usually not. That is the positive selfish is introduced to the negative selfish. Okay.
Okay.
So that's a selfish. Of course, we have like even we drawing something like always I wanted to get the first. So that's we know so we selfish. Like even like example like public transportation when we get in there. So where is the seat? We first looking the seat. Someone going to get before we going to sit down. That is all selfish, yeah. And we go to the shops. It's like limited things to buy, so we try to get first. It's selfish, and the people like when this COVID-19 comes, like people buy so much things, like everything they try to get. So that's always selfish. And we have that. One way is like just worldly things like taking care of us and protecting us. but then there has a selfish there too. That is a selfish. So the practice of Yadam deity, not just you don't, that means you don't have, like, we're not talking about you don't have a bodhicitta, but what you doing things like just you recognize sharing things no benefit for others. So I'm not ready that level, and I want to keep put, you know, secret. Then you do that way, it's easily completion practice Yidam deity. So they have lots circumstances like inner energy and conditions we don't recognize. Example, when you meditate, you know, some good experience comes, you cannot share everyone to go to telling that, then that experience is like gone. And we don't know why it's gone, because there's some reasons we don't know. Example, Buddha's relics. So Buddha's relics, if I have a Buddha relics, I keep myself, it's increasing. And if I give some person, stir my, another person, stir maybe my Buddha's relics is increasing. Then I thought, oh, it's increasing, great, I'm going to give another person. Then you don't know which kind of person. So become never increasing your relics, it's just stuck there. So that's, we don't know what happened. I give that person that not happening that, but I give it to that person, it's like totally gone. You know, relic is not increasing. Why? No one can give answer. Because the person you give, the person has more, you know, like inner there, and the conditions, like they have more negative things, something, you know, and some people has more positive energy, some people has more negative energy, so that's affected. So we don't recognize. And that's the reason, like your practice, like sharing things, record this object. Some people not affected, but some people really affected, and you get obstacles. Oh, you don't have feeling to make practice become. So that not your the practice did something wrong there, but some other, you share someone has a negative, it's there affected you. Not come from you, come from some others going to affect it. So that kind, we don't know. That's why it's called secret Mahayana. You know,
I have a problem.
everyone knows. Then we don't have the secret Mahayana, like this subtle level contractions, energies, no any idea for us.
Can we go back to when you were talking about being selfish, wanting to be first in line? How can I use that as an antidote?
Can you say again, sorry?
You said selfishness. I heard you say something about we're selfish. We want to be first in line.
Yeah.
How do I use that as an antidote?
Oh, antidote is so.
How do I make the selfishness an antidote?
Okay, so the positive, this your experience, meditation experience, don't share. And if you really have to share, who's your teacher you the meditation, you have to share that person. And not sharing for public anyone. Okay, so then you have some really practice, like example, you practice a Tara, if you using your mala and the chanting, like I wanted to chant 100,000, 400,000 mantras 1 week, I'm going to retreat. Like during that time, no sharing your malas, like you don't let people knows what you're doing, just be secretly practice yourself. So that is antidote self, that is actually self, you know, secret way self, that is antidote to the self, ego self.
So how does intention fit into that?
Then really no need to intention, or I want to be secret, antidote my ego selfish, then doesn't work very well. So then must intention is must have to have a bodhicitta. Of course, bodhicitta is our intention. I want to going to practice this secretly and want to benefit others. That is the motivation. That is the intention. I'm going to this practice because I'm going to secret the wanted to introduce to my selfish. Then doesn't work very well. That's it's become my two things already. You get extra self again.
Okay, so if you're already practicing Tara and you
Yeah.
want to and you want to work on selfishness, you just keep it a secret from that point forward. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, it's we're doing like sometimes the practice Tara, but we don't keep that way. But if you go to 7 weeks or I mean the 7 days retreat, in the 7 days, you stay your home or some solid place. Nobody knows where you're going. You don't telling anyone I'm going there. You don't telling I'm doing that practice. Then you don't share anything, like you don't have share actually that time, nobody there. So you practice yourself. So that is a secret.
Kempo, it's more like modesty. You're being modest and humble in doing this practice and not showing off about it or announcing it on Facebook to everyone.
Oh,
Isn't
no.
it? Or something like that. It's being sort of selfless,
Yeah.
non-ego clinging. It's
Yeah. Yeah, so no any showing things.
Excuse me.
Yes.
If it's on Facebook and Zoom, then it's all over the place. And with some people who are constantly getting interrupted, you have to say, "Oh, I'm going to be in a retreat, so please don't call me or text me or do any of this stuff." So
Oh,
if you have constantly have distractions because people are wondering where you are, you have to say something.
If you wanted to give that information, that is no problem. They used to, we don't have to do that, but there's no mention about that. But this time we have that problem. So you can say, I'm going to retreat or something like, I'm doing something like 1 week, I'm not going to answer. That's it, you know. So you don't have to say, oh, today I'm did like morning this section, afternoon I did this section, or I chant 100,000 mantras. Today I finished like couple thousand. Yesterday I chant like this mantra. Today I chant more than that. You don't have to share anything like that.
Okay, yeah. Most people know, like, for our morning, like between 11 and 12:30, don't try not to ring me on the phone, try not to message me. But that's people who are close to me, like my parents and my children and that kind of
Good is like really you go to the retreat and you doing these things, then keep more privacy. It's like we say privacy, keep privacy practice.
But Kempo, all the retreats right now are online. They're on Facebook and they're on Zoom. So they're active. When they go on the Facebook Live, anyone has access to that.
So this is like we're teaching called retreat, but it's I mean the like you can go the like more deeper way practice yourself. Okay.
So go on retreat by yourself?
Yeah.
Without a teacher?
Yeah, you can do because no, it's a teaching. So you have teaching, right? No, then you have received all the teaching. You can do that.
Okay.
Yeah. Sometimes missing the Lisa, I recognize. Oh yeah, she went to retreat. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so I think that's enough there. Good discussion. So some like see we doing this kind of like practice Yamin Taka that people Dachinoboji does is more like you know like secret where you go in and you cannot go out until finish. So actually that is like all the Yadam deity practices follow like that, used to many traditions. But then some reasons like become slowly go into the tongues, drawing practice like include who comes. So that also has reasons. Just both has reasons anyway. No contradiction, because go to in the public place doing things, also wanted to create some karmic connections, create, you know, and the people who cannot really do the secret way practice, but then they also have something opportunity to do in the public place. So that's also okay, but that's a different motivation. And if you doing yourself something, if you really secret way is completion than yadam deity, that is that we can see all the other previous these practitioners, the complete yadam deity, they did it the secret way. They are accomplished.
Yeah, I have one last question. I'm reaching the conclusion that all of your practice is automatically working the antidotes. You don't have to have an intention to work on something. You just keep practicing.
Yes.
Is that a correct assumption?
Yes, yes.
All right.
Yeah.
So that straightened that out. Thank you.
Yeah. So we just think about you many food. Any food you eat is recovering your, or like, you know, like hunger, right? Recovering hunger. So any food eating, but think about each food has a different kind, you know, protein and different kind of benefits that talk about each food. They have different flavors and different proteins, or they have qualities. So there's also different qualities talking about if you cook really correctly, you know. If you don't cook correctly, this food is the same as other food. If you cook correctly, this food has something behind there, you know. So that is Vajrayana teaching. Okay. So this test is like food test. Is you have to cook correctly if you really wanted to get the test, or you just wanted to same as other food, then just going same usually we doing things like that. That's it, you know. So no, okay, substance from those who have not seen the mandala receive empowerment, and from those who do not have any faith. So someone no empowerment, then also better don't have to share. Then that's even your shares is like someone has no empowerment, but as long as they have a devotion, that is okay. But someone no have a devotions, no faith, then it's not ready to share them. So failing to do so will hinder our ability to accomplish the deity, and could even accord the downfall no us broadcasting the sacred teachings. So if this broadcast sacred teaching is to who don't have faith, and then who don't have connections, so that then get this downfalls, you know, broken. Downfall means like it's anyway, it's not correct, incorrect. So you're sharing the sacred things for others. So example, right now we're doing these teachings, hopefully who listening teaching is they have connections, devotions, you know, and like that. So who don't have devotions or connections, then they're listening. That could be they don't listening, who don't have devotions, who don't have connections. So that's why could be this not happening, you know, is a downfall. So the teaching is like usually people don't listen if they don't have connections, they don't have devotions. Even you see the Facebook Live, they think, oh, this is some meeting going on, so not my business. They don't go in there. So ritual object is easy to see. You know, if you posted something, it's easy to see. So that's also sometimes it's benefit others. Some get connections, some get, you know, like kind of lose like devotions, lose faith, or lose connections, or something. Some people see that is not happy. So that kind of also happening. We don't know that. We don't know. And so all your Facebook friend is like following the Dharma, then no problem. If your Facebook friend is like someone is like, you know, against the Dharma and ritual things, then they're not happy to see that. Then maybe that's why that if you put it like become wrong for me, is get mistake, is the did it wrong. So there you don't have that people in your Facebook friends, then it's, I think it's okay. So that's kind of we have to follow just this time, you know, this time in the 21st century kept these things. And then when you practice yourself, that time, sometimes you like, we already talked like 1 week or 2 week, 1 month, 3 months, go retreat. At that time, then don't have to share that object for others. Just only you use. And Vajrayana practitioners also that time is like stay in one spot. They don't change many spot. Sit, you know, they don't sometimes sit like outside, sometimes sit inside, sometimes go in the chair, sometimes sit in the bed. They don't do that. That's who practice that chant the mantra accumulation, doing really perfectly. They always sit one spot, same spot, same seat. And then when you finish, you go bed, it's okay, you go bed. Some people's bed and the seat are always the same, you know, used to practitioners. This time we have a more different opportunities. Your seat and the bed is different, but practice is always do the one seat. Then that's where it's like more you doing correctly and follow the tradition way. So then when we recite the mantra, that evoking the awakening mind, stream of the deities. So chant the mantra is evoking the Buddhas. So means like we're calling the name. So child calling the mother's name, you know. And that is the recitation mantra. And one you know, recitation mantras has so many different kind of benefits. So one benefit is like one aspect benefit is like calling the kids calling the mother's name, same like that. So when we get problems, we calling the 911, you know. So this mantra recitation is the same as 911 calling, okay? You're calling the Buddhas to wake up, to look for me, look for other beings. Don't just stay in the Dharma Dharma. Dharma Dharma is no draw, you know, no dualistic place. Just don't stay there and come to look me, come to see me, you know, help me, blessing me, and blessing for all other beings. So that is the mantra. Then that's the reason we chant the mantra, awakening the mind, stream of the deities. So then Buddha's also mind, Buddha's waking from the non-dualistic, and the same time also our mind also awakening too. So calling the Buddhas, they recognize we calling them, we waking them, and the same time also our mind is waking too. So our mind is deluded and waking up, you know. Our mind has so much negative, it's like quality is awakening, bodhicitta is awakening, loving compassion is awakening, wisdom is awakening up. So that's the reason the chant mantra waking means. They have so much meanings. Waking mind stream of the deities. We should not let our mantra recitation be interrupted or interspersed with other talk. So when we chant the mantra, then chant the mantra and then you stop and talking with other people. So that's we're doing, but you really go into the retreat, shouldn't do that way. But actually in the you are really retreat, nobody there to you can talk. 100% off the phone and no internet, no Facebook, okay, no any social media. So everything have to shut down. And even you have some companies with together, so you have to make the sections and practicing time, not talk each other. Everyone only practice, focus, chanting prayers and recitation mantra. Then when you finish the Om A A E E O O R R L L, you know, Om Benza Sato Sama Yamana Palay. So then you coming back to the no post meditation, and then you can talk and eat together. So then another again Om Benza Om A A E E, you know, then go back to again you are in the practice. During in the practice cannot talk. So that's why we have to chant the prayers and reciting mantras. So no other talk in the state of unwavering awakening mind. So then only not taking care of the speech. You are in the retreat, you already taking care of your body, but if you have companies, instead you don't take care, it's your speech. So you don't talk, and that's why we silent everyone. No silent means like you can chant the mantras, but not just other talk, means worldly talk. You take care of your body speech, but that's also not enough. You have to take care mind, means unwavering, awakening mind. That is the hardest one, actually. This time, people easily take care body speech, but mind is no one take care, okay? So then who take care of the body and the mind? No, a body is a speech that everyone think he is great, she is great, she is doing really good practice. But the person don't take care of the mind. We don't know the mind. If they don't take care of the mind, then not much essence there. So that's, you can see this is Saturday, Sunday, where of Bodhisattva teaching comes. Shantideva talk about that a lot, the next section. So we have to take care of our mind, not falling under the sphere of delusory thoughts. That is actually the biggest problem. And not easy to keep connect with the visualization. So when we chant the practice Yadam Deity, body is okay, speech is okay, but mind is not really easily to focus with the practice Yadam Deity. But we have to use to, and have to cultivate and have to habituate. So we cannot say so hard we cannot do, because we have to habituate. Of course, very hard. So think about when you drive the car first time. So when you get the key in your hand, you're going to drive the first, you're already nervous. You don't know, like when nervous, where is the key is put in, It's so very hard, right? But we don't give up. Then we drive, and the drive is like easy, become everyone. So even you don't really pay much attentions, even you're calling on the phone and still you can dive. So easy already. So used to, that is used to. When you starting your drive the car, not possible phone call and dive, not possible. And also with talking with other people, also not possible. And just you have to pay so much attention, effort. So still you are so nervous, right? When the car is coming, you see car is coming, and road is very small, you know. So your car is so big, and road, everything is so narrow, very hard to drive, right? First thing about it, when you drive the car. But you don't give up. So you practice and used to know it's easy, right? Think that way. We have to practice this Dharma, also same thing, like used to is easy become. We have to keep going and habituate. We cannot just say so hard and then give up. That's incorrect. That's why we have to keep going. In the beginning, always we have this problem, delusory thoughts. We should be imbued with the three aspects of suchness. So the three samadhis. Three, this means like all seeing form is Buddha's form, all hearing song is a mantra, all thoughts is a dharmakaya. So that is the three samadhi. When you practice yidam deity, and we will accomplish the deity, then not impossible to accomplish the yidam deity if you practice it that way. Impossible to not accomplish the yidam deity if you follow that way. Why we cannot accomplish the practice of yidam deity? Because we don't put these three samadhis. Maybe you have one samadhi, you know, then maybe you have two samadhis. Three comes together is very rare. So then first, of course, you used to, and then practice, habituate, become successful accomplishments. There is no way to awaken a Buddhahood without entering into sacred Mahayana as the root is. Okay, we leave there today. So finish the teaching. Chant the mantra, this section. Any question do you have?
Khenpo, I have a question. You had said the three samadhis, that all form is Buddha's form, and then is it all thought is Buddha's thought? And what was the?
Thought is Dharmakaya.
And all what? I'm sorry.
All thoughts is called Dharmakaya.
Okay.
All hearing song is a mantra.
All hearing?
Or hearing the song, whatever heard the song is a mantra.
Okay.
Yeah, then that's called three Vajra, three Vajra, body Vajra, mind Vajra, speech Vajra.
Okay. Mantra. Thank you.
So the thought is Dharmakaya means when you practice Yidam deity, you really into your mind, you know, and then any thoughts arise, recognize that you liberate the thoughts, not follow the thoughts. So the thoughts liberate, the thoughts is transforming. Then we can say thought is Dharmakaya. If we don't liberating, we don't transforming thoughts, then we cannot say thought is Dharmakaya.
And on to that, on to Cheryl's question, because I had that same question. Did you say if you do not have these three aspects, then there is not possible to accomplish the Yidam deity? Was that correct? Is that what you said?
Yes. Yes.
And Khenpo, is there a difference between the three samadhis and the three vajras?
It's the same. This part is the same.
Mm.
So the different names, Tiri Vajjara means Samadhi is the same. So Vajjara means like you just see your body is a Vajjara because you visualize Yidam. And speech is like mantra. Yidam, that is mantra, is a Vajjara, speech is Vajjara. Or then your mind is in the state, in the no thought, no doorway. So then that is Vajjara, true mind is Vajjara. As Samadhi also means that you are in there.
Kempo, this all this that you're talking about in the completion stage, the three samadhis, how do you distinguish, if at all, any of this from Mahamudra?
What means?
How do you, where does Mahamudra come in this discussion?
This is a Yidam deity practice. So Mahamudra, we're not talking about Mahamudra. This is Tiri Samadhi means Vajja. Then when go into the Mahamudra, then no Tiri Samadhi, it's only one Samadhi.
What's the difference between that samadhi and these three samadhis?
What the difference is?
Yes.
Just different meditation, different ways to practice.
Thank you.
Yeah. So the Mahamudra, they don't talk about the body and the speech. Mahamudra Samadhi. Samadhi means just only no draw, that's it.
I have a question, please.
Yes.
Well, I missed some classes, but previously in one of our classes, I asked what it meant when we do the Mahakala prayer. Does it mean when we say, please cause me to encounter the Samadhi escort that will guide me on the true path? And I asked, what was the Samadhi? And the answer was meditation. So I think I missed something in the classes, in these classes that I've missed before. Now we're talking about 6 different samadhis?
Okay, that's a samadhi. Samadhi means when you practice saying, so when you're chanting prayers, you focus on that, then that is your samadhi. No, this three samadhi is means like your seeing forms visualize Buddha's form, hearing songs Buddha's mantra, mind is stay in the nature. So that is a samadhi.
So it's different. It's different than a Yidam deity. It's not the same thing.
Huh?
It's not the same thing as a Yidam deity.
What means? Can you say again?
It's not the same thing as the Yidam deity.
Samadhi?
Yes.
Samadhi means you drawing like your action.
Okay, but it's not just meditating either.
It's called meditation, but meditation has many different kind of meditations.
Okay.
So that's all you can say. Like Mahakala, we asked him to protect my practice.
Okay.
Your practice has a meditation, then maybe you are in the Shane meditation, means like shamatha meditation. Ask Mahakala, please remove the shamatha meditation obstacle, and please help me, my mind be in the shamatha. So same thing that, okay, call Mahakala. When you practice vipassana, so calling Mahakala, I'm practice vipassana, help me remove vipassana practice. My mind is be in the vipassana. Okay?
Thank you, Kempo.
You practice love and compassion, bodhicitta, so calling to the Mahakala, remove my practice, love, compassion, bodhicitta practice. Please, my mind is follow the love, be in the compassion, be in the bodhicitta. So that's it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Kimpa?
Yes.
I have 2 questions. So with the when we're following the three samadhis, that's in informal sitting meditation, and also also just outside of that meditation as well. Is that correct? Just in our everyday lives.
Can you say again? I didn't get it.
When we're practicing the three samadhis,
Oh,
that's in our formal meditation practice.
yes.
Also, also outside of that as well. Is that correct?
Oh, outside means
Not in formal meditation, so post meditation.
oh. This is like in the meditation, not in the post meditation. In the meditation, three samadhis.
Okay, thank you. And,
Yeah.
and then my
Because
second.
the post meditation. Oh, in the meditation we cannot talk. That's why it's like your whatever here songs, the mantra means the speech samadhi, and you put all your speeches like chant the mantra and the prayers is a speech samadhi. And your body is like you visualize yourself is maybe Buddha, or you visualize in all this form. What you're seeing is visualize Buddha. Your body is a samadhi. So your mind is not follow the regular, orderly thoughts. Your mind is be with your practice. So that is a mind is a samadhi. And that must be in the practice, like in the meditation, not the post meditation.
Okay, thank you. That's very helpful.
You're welcome. So that's your question, right?
Yes, yeah, you answered it. Yeah, thank you. One more question.
Yeah.
We're talking about obstacles with this, with the substances, the accomplishment substances. I'm the only Buddhist practitioner in my family and in this area that I know of. And I usually have a Guru Pema Tonka in the living room.
Yes.
Is that considered, could that create obstacles for other people coming in who are not Buddhist? Oh.
No, that's the tanka example. If you have like some, which kind of tanka you have?
I would say peaceful. Guru
So,
Pema.
so it's not any problem. Okay, so first the peaceful is easy.
Okay, great.
At first in your home and like first your family, everyone is like, oh, it's okay. And that all great things. The thing is, doing something wrong. So that don't give it the better perceptions for them, then it's okay.
I'm sorry to ask you to repeat. I didn't hear. I'm so sorry. Could you repeat, please?
I mean, the like peaceful tanka is no problem. That no one get the wrong perceptions. If your family, anyone, like family, they kept the like the rat for that is yun and the yav and the yom tangas, like then the ritual like dragon knife, skull cups, and like the like some symbols, special some symbols of bone ornaments, and so that kind of some object is like you seeing right away it's a really terrible something. People think that kind of object is very special meaning there, but most people of course don't know. So that kind of object, your family see that object, they're not happy, they think you doing something wrong, they never show for them. If they are okay, like if you see the tanka, like example Vajakalaya tanka, they say, oh, it's okay, they didn't think about you doing something wrong, they are no problem, and they are happy to see that, then it's okay, even they are no Buddhist.
That makes a lot of sense. Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
So that's it, like we cannot say you cannot have anything your home and the family. We cannot say everything is possible. So it's always like each family situations.
Thank you.
Mm.
When we do the visualization, we are using our eye the real eye to visualize it, or we are using mind? Do we
Mind,
have,
no eye.
so we can close our eye actually.
Yes.
So, okay. Yeah, because I heard some teachers that say when you do the meditation, you should open your eye and you should not close at all. So then you can see something special. And I think, oh, okay, it's really seeing with our eye and not with mind. Should we?
Lily, so that is also have a cannot say open eye, or, means like close eye. So meditations, so many different kind of meditations. So which kind of meditation you talking about? Like, we have to go specifically, and then some to close eye, some is must open eye. Visualize, you should close eye, otherwise you cannot visualize. Yeah. So you meditate shamatha, must open eye. Otherwise you cannot meditate shamatha because you have focus object.
Okay, so that, for example, if you practice the Guru Yoga, and then you have to visualize the Guru, like sitting in the lotus seat in front of you, then that you actually using your mind, and you can actually softly close your eye to use
Right.
mind.
Use your close eye, like, or is using the mind is like become visualizing, right? Visual.
Okay.
So anyway, right now what we do the practice, like if you practice Buddha Amitabha example, Buddha Amitabha, and then you have this picture and like you seeing this picture and then just like Buddha, just mind thing is Buddha is there and with you, and then chant the prayers. No any drop, even you have these pictures like you think it's Buddha. And then if you don't have this any pictures, even your close eye, like just seeing Buddha is in there and then chant the prayers. So have to follow like that way. Otherwise you cannot do the prayers. Close eye and visualize Buddha, then not possible to chant the prayers, right?
Oh.
Yeah, so you sometimes you use close eye, like visualize Buddha is there, then you have to chant the prayers, you have to open eye.
Okay, so you can like just feel it's there. You don't have really to focus on that because you need to read those do the prayers.
Yeah. So then sometimes like you visualize this Buddha image in the close eye and no any chanting, you just visualize it. That's also possible.
How about the when chant the mantra? So the when do the chant mantra, you don't really have to read something. You chant it,
Like we sometimes follow the sadhana, then chant mantra, but sometimes you just directly chant the mantra, then you can close eye and chant, visualize yadam, and then chant the mantra. That is great.
Okay. So, and when you during the visualization, and then sometimes it's not, you want to be more clear, so you forgot the part, so you open your eye, look at the picture. Well, that's the instruction I got. So you open your eye, look at the picture again, and then you visualize again, and then try to. So you repeat that, right? So make it more clear.
Support you. Picture and the Thanga statue is all support.
Support. Okay.
You load the picture and the Thanga, and then just the images bring to your mind and the chant, and then slow again. The text will become awareness mind for more.
Okay. Your voice gets very low.
All the time, like open eye, you can keep go back and forth.
We can't hear you, Kempo. Your voice is very low.
You can back and forth, chant the mantra.
Yes.
Means like when you chant the mantra, so you can keep back and forth. Sometimes open eye and load the Thanga statue picture, and then close eye, and then sometimes load again.
Yeah.
Everything also need more relax and cannot be too tight.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome. So same is like cooking food. First, you don't know how to cook, then you don't know what is put first, what is second, like or thinking about going to. You don't know which is going to cook more, which is cook. You know, no much, like kind of so much worried, like beginners, cookers cook the food. Then if you know how to cook, then you see the vegetables or the what you have, then just you know what is put first, what is second. Everything makes up, you know, or put together. So same like that. This practice also. First is like we think, oh, I shouldn't do this, I can do this, like that kind of thoughts a lot. But then you practice more and more, become you don't have that fears. That drops.
Yeah.
Temple.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes. Hi, 70. Yes.
Yeah, Temple, I have a question.
Yes.
And very naive question. Because I don't practice Idam deity and I don't know about anything about Idam deity. So I want to ask, how can a Idam deity, if we ask them, how can we ask them to help us to take away our obstacle? How do they do it? How do they help us to take away our obstacle? If it's our own karma, it's our own obstacle, how can even the Buddha cannot take away our obstacle, isn't it?
Yes.
I thought that in Buddhism, we always have to rely on.
I answered that. Okay. So your question is good to follow the philosophy way. So that's a philosophy is called interdependent. Interdependent means like no independent. So that's a Buddha teaching. So when you practice Yadam deity, it's also interdependent. We need Buddha, Dharma, Sangha. We are Sangha. The practice is Dharma, sadhana is Dharma. Then Yadam deity is Buddha. So that is followed by interdependent. Not only say, I don't need Buddha, only I'm going to do. I don't need the Dharma, I'm going to do. So we didn't say that. So we say everything's interdependent. So we cannot do ourselves. That's why we need Buddha to Yadam deity have support for us. That is called support object, support. And then Dharma is the helping for us, you know. Dharma is the benefiting us. Practice Dharma Yadam deity. So that is like ultra level Buddha Dharma is separate, but then you go more inner level Buddha Dharma is become inseparable. So that is it's all is like connections interdependent. We didn't say the Buddhism not talking about you know, you don't need a Buddha, you don't need a Dharma, you have to do yourself, you have to do liberate. Then we cannot say that, because without a Buddha, without the Dharma, how can people beings liberate? What they're going to do, right? So example like kids, we say you have to put effort, you have to study. We're telling the kids you have to do. But same time, we say, this is your book, you have to learn. We give a subject for them. Same time, we hide the teacher, you know, parents hide the teacher. So that teacher teach them and use the subject, and then the kids put effort. Have to come these three together. So of course, kids didn't do, even teacher there, subject is there, and everything there, object, the kids didn't put effort, then we say, if we cannot give you education if you don't do. So that's the teaching. Buddha said, if you don't do, we cannot give to you. But we didn't say we cannot help you. So if you do, we can help you. If you don't do, we cannot help you. So that is the Buddha's teaching.
I understand the helpful part, but I don't understand how can the Yidam deity take away our obstacle. If it's our own karma, we have obstacle. I don't understand how the other one, because I remember a teacher, the Buddha told Rahula, you have to practice. Even you are the son of the Buddha, I cannot help you.
Yes. So okay.
To be liberal, you have to be liberal yourself.
I give the answer same thing. If you don't practice, then we cannot help you. If you practice, Buddha say, I can help you. Buddha is a Yidam deity, you know. He say, I can help you. If you practice, I can help you means that is the Yidam deity.
Okay.
And then if you practice, it means what are you going to practice? You have to practice the Dharma.
Yes.
If you practice, I cannot help you means then Dharma no need, Buddha no need. Then that person we cannot help. If you practice, I can help you means you need Dharma, you need Buddha. So Buddha said, I can, yeah. So if you that person practice, then Buddha can help them. Dharma can help them remove their karma. If they don't practice, then we cannot, Dharma cannot remove their karma. Buddha cannot remove their karma if they don't practice. That's why Buddha said, don't
understand how can other can remove your own karma if it's your own karma.
Yeah, you practice, then you remove your own karma.
So you are removing your own karma. It's not other supreme being there to remove your karma. You have to remove your own karma, isn't it? Then how can we ask the deity to remove our obstacle? I just don't understand. How can we ask anyone to remove our own obstacle?
Okay, so that is like have the meaning is if you don't do remove my karma, it's not possible. If you then you can ask remove my karma. Okay, if you work, then you say give me paycheck. If you don't work, you cannot say give me paycheck.
Nice. Kempo, I think she may be asking a more specific question having to do with what the mechanism is or the what's special in a sense about visualizing the deity. Why does that work in helping remove the karma and doing the mantra?
So that's the lots of information we already talked.
Okay.
Oh, it's not really simple like that. The main point is Buddha is already pure and we are impure. So visualize pure helps impure is transforming. Okay?
Yeah, I can understand the transforming too.
That's why
I can understand.
That's it. That's why we visualize the Yidam deity. Yidam is pure already. We are not impure. So we always be with the impure. Then we are stuck with the always impure samsara. You are trying to be with pure. So then that's become habituate, helps you not stuck with the impure. Okay? Yeah.
Tempo. Aren't we finding, like as we do it, we're finding the deity within ourselves. So then there's non-duality.
Yeah, that is a more deeper level. Yeah, that's a more deeper, very high level. That's good, but it's a no. It's a no main answer. Is like we have to first sharing the beginner, like I mean the like first like step have to understand clearly. So, with example, think about frozen food. You put in the frozen, they always kept frozen there. Okay? So that is the same as like you always impure together. Like first we are impure, and then all these perceptions impure. Frozen food is always keeping in the frozen. Yeah. So frozen food is take out from the frozen frozen refrigerator. Take out. So then become the food is not frozen, right? So like that, you know, you visualize the pure perceptions like that. You are taking out from the frozen refrigerator, refrigerator. You're taking out from the frozen refrigerator, I think.
From the freezer.
Freezer, yeah. You're taking out the freezer.
Yes.
Frozen food is taking out the freezer.
And aren't you also, when you ask for your obscurations to be removed, you're loosening your grasp, you're giving it up yourself. It's not that it's a magic wand is waved, but something in you is releasing it so that you can become pure. So you're actually asking yourself to remove your own obscurations. Does that make sense? Is that?
Yes. Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah.
I don't know if that's accurate, but it seems if we're asking for our obscurations to be removed, we are in essence letting go. Here they are.
Yeah.
Remove my obstacle means you drawing, you walking.
Yeah.
So that's why you can ask this, remove my negative, remove my obstacles. If you're not drawing anything, then it's not possible to say, remove my obstacle, take away my obstacle.
Yes. Yes. That makes sense. That makes sense. Thank you.
We have to make clearly separate, otherwise they're confused. Yeah. Thank you, Lomen. Your question is wonderful, wonderful. So we finish your question and answer. Thank you.
Thank you, Temple.
Do you want the dedication prayer up?
Yes, please. So Lomen, your question is actually so many Buddhist people get confused there. Because also they see the sutra and then Vajrayana contradiction there. So actually no contradiction, but the just misunderstanding, you know.
Yes, yes. Because
Lomen,
like
this prayer.
okay.
Laman, can you chant the prayer? Kempo was asking you to chant it. Can you read it from your device?
Oh, she can see the screenshot or no?
I don't know. That's why I was asking. Ask her to check.
Oh.
I think she's on a phone, so I don't think she can.
Okay, I think she cannot. Debbie, please, can you chant the prayers?
I don't have a Wi-Fi. That's why I couldn't do anything of reading the screen or anything. Last time I was able to is I have to drive to the library and on their porch and then use their Wi-Fi for free.
I see.
Yeah, so I don't have Wi-Fi at home. I'm very low tech. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, I try to have no computer, no multimedia, no distraction, no TV, no anything. Just a cell phone or banking.
You are most Vajrayana practitioner. Actually, you are saying you are no practitioner Vajrayana, but you really into the essence of Vajrayana.
Thank you, Campbell. You make me my ego larger now. I can immediately realize my ego is bigger now. Yeah. I think that I have been practiced. What Gachin Rinpoche teach me is the 37 Bodhisattva practice is very important. So, and I only practice one word, and that word is, what is the state of my mind? And whatever you are doing, you have to ask what is the state of my mind, and accomplish other purposes through constantly maintaining mindfulness and awareness is the Bodhisattva practice. And this I have been practicing for a few years, just one word, that's all. So I didn't practice any idam deity or anything, just trying to constantly aware